Hello and welcome. You're watching Express News with me, Deepika, your daily half-an-hour window that brings you all the latest news and updates from the country and the world in just 30 minutes. Let's begin. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated India's first underwater metro rail service in West Bengal's capital city, Kolkata. The new metro line called the Hafra Maidan Esplanade section is India's first underwater metro transportation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also travelled on the newly launched metro service. He also interacted with the students and metro staff on the occasion. Prime Minister Modi urged and inaugurated and laid the foundation stone of multiple connectivity projects throughout the country worth $1.8 billion from Kolkata. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed a women's rally in West Bengal's Barasat. Raising the Sandesh Khali issue, Prime Minister Narendra Modi alleged that atrocities against women are being committed in West Bengal under the Trinamool Congress rule. Prime Minister Narendra Modi was given a grand welcome in Barasat. People gathered on roads to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid the foundation stone, dedicated and inaugurated various infrastructure-related projects related to rail, road and petroleum along with natural gas in eastern state of Bihar. Prime Minister dedicated and inaugurated along with he also laid the foundation stone of various railway projects. He also flagged off 2 new train services for the region. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated 109 kilometers long Indian Oil's Muzaffarpur-Motihari LPG pipeline. It will provide access to cleaner cooking fuel in the state of Bihar and neighbouring country Nepal. Addressing the gathering, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that world is praising the feat in digital India. Prime Minister said that Betia has digital infrastructure more than any developed nation. Indian President Draupadi Murmu conferred Sangeet Natak Akademi Awards for the year 2022 and 23 to 94 eminent artists in New Delhi on Wednesday. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and his South Korean counterpart today attended the comprehensive and productive 10th India-Korea Joint Commission meeting in Seoul. Dr. S. Jaishankar also met Gimai City Mayor Hong Tai-yong. Both the leaders discussed cultural and educational cooperation. The Gimhae Ayodhya Connect is a testament to shared cultural heritage and long-standing people-to-people relations. India Global Forum's annual investment summit Next 10 is being held in the financial capital, Mumbai. The 5th edition of National Youth Parliament Festival 2024 concluded today in New Delhi. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla and Union Minister for Youth Affairs and Sports Anurag Singh Thakur awarded the trophies and certificates to the winners. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla inaugurated a health check-up camp for officers and staff of Lok Sabha Secretariat in the Parliament premises on Wednesday. Indian Navy and India Security Infrastructure, the Naval Detachment Minicoy was commissioned as INS Jatayu on Wednesday. The new full-fledged naval base was commissioned by Navy Chief Admiral R. Hari Kumar at Minicoy in Lakshadweep Islands. Indian Navy also commissioned the newly inducted INAS 334 Seahawks, the first MH-60R squadron helicopter at Kochi. The doctors from Delhi's Sir Gangaram Hospital have successfully performed the bilateral hand transplantation on a painter who lost both the hands in an accident. A woman who was declared brain dead donated her organs and her hands were operated. India's Supreme Court on Wednesday dismissed the West Bengal government's plea seeking an urgent hearing on the Sandesh Khali case. The CBI has registered 2 more FIRs related on the incident on the 5th of January. Retail inflation in India has been declining for the last 2 months. Before February, inflation based on consumer price index remained above 5%, but now it is expected to decline below 5%. India's domestic equity benchmark Sensex jumps 409 points to close at all-time high of 74,086. Nifty climbs 117.75 points to record 22,474. Indian rupee rises 7 paise to settle at 82.83 against the US dollar. Coal future maturing on the 5th of April stood at 64,734 rupees per 10 grams on Multi-Commodity Exchange of India Limited. Silver futures maturing on the 3rd of May stood at 73,307 rupees per kilogram on the MCX. India's central bank said issuers of credit cards cannot enter into any arrangement or agreement with card networks that restrain customers from availing the services of other networks. World shares sat just below record highs on Wednesday. Europe's broad stocks rose 0.3%, trading just off Monday's all-time high, and US S&P 500 futures were up 0.3%. UK Chancellor Jeremy Hunt presented the spring budget. He says that Britain's economy is forecast to grow by 0.8%. Meta-owned Facebook and Instagram were back up on Tuesday after more than 2-hour outage that was caused by a technical issue, and that also impacted hundreds of thousands of users globally. A bipartisan group of U.S. lawmakers introduced legislation on Tuesday to give China's ByteDance about 6 months to divest popular short video app TikTok or face a U.S. ban. U.S. President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump both secured commanding victories in most states on Super Tuesday presidential primaries, solidifying the likelihood of a rematch between the two in November. Biden won 14 Democratic nominating contests, including Iowa's mail-in vote, but narrowly lost American Samoa by 11 votes. Trump won the Republican votes in 14 of 15 states, including delegate-rich California and Texas, brushing aside former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, who is his last remaining rival. Nikki Haley, who was the lone rival to Trump, is reportedly planning to suspend her Republican presidential primary bid after Super Tuesday results. Venezuela's National Electoral Commission announced that the presidential elections will take place on the 28th of July this year. As delegations held a third day of talks in Cairo on Tuesday with no breakthrough on Gaza ceasefire, U.S. President Joe Biden said that the decision to accept a ceasefire deal now rested with Hamas. The U.S. military released a video on Tuesday showing the airdrop of humanitarian aid, including 60 bundles of food supplies into Gaza, conducted in collaboration with Jordan. Israeli War Cabinet member Benny Gantz held meeting with the U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris, Secretary of State Antony Blinken, and U.S. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer on Tuesday to discuss the ongoing Israel-Hamas conflict. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has declared that Israel will permit a similar number of worshippers into Jerusalem's Al-Aqsa Mosque compound during the first week of Ramadan as in previous years. Lebanon's caretaker Prime Minister Najib Mikati announced indirect talks between Lebanon and Israel that will commence during the month of Ramadan, beginning the next week. U.S. forces intercepted 1 anti-ship ballistic missile and 3 drones launched from Houthi-controlled areas of Yemen in the Red Sea on Tuesday. Russian President Vladimir Putin's foreign intelligence chief criticized French President Emmanuel Macron's refusal to rule out sending European troops to fight Russian soldiers in Ukraine as dangerous and irresponsible. Russia carried out an overnight drone attack on Ukrainian regions on Wednesday, hitting power infrastructure, damaging residential and commercial buildings, and injuring at least 7 people. Ukrainian air defenses shot down 38 out of 42 Russian drones over 8 regions across the country in what was the largest Russian drone attack on Ukraine in the past several weeks. Pakistan Supreme Court declared on Wednesday that the trial of former Prime Minister Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, who was executed 44 years ago following a murder conviction, was not conducted fairly. Haiti's Prime Minister Ariel Henry landed in Puerto Rico on Tuesday amid escalating gang violence that has threatened to topple his government and leave thousands homeless. Swedish and Finnish troops took part in Nordic Response NATO drill in northern Finland on Tuesday. The 10-day exercise involves over 20,000 troops from a dozen countries. French President Emmanuel Macron, who is on a visit to Prague, signed an action plan with Czech Prime Minister for a strategic partnership between the two countries on Tuesday. South Korean police on Wednesday called officials from a doctors' association for questioning over accusations of breaking medical law. Prime Minister of Peru, Alberto Otárola, has stepped down from his position following the release of an audio recording where he was heard attempting to improperly influence government contracts. The Philippines on Wednesday accused China of deliberately stirring up trouble in the South China Sea, calling Beijing's action patently illegal and downright uncivilized. The European Union on Wednesday agreed on a deal to unjam air traffic reform in a bid to bring a system in place for airspace regulations that is blamed for chronic delays and unnecessary emissions across Europe. Bangladeshis are struggling with a hike in price on essential goods ahead of the holy month of Ramadan. Price of essential goods like lentils, onions and cooking oil have shot up by 30 to 40% from last month. Vietnam has listed two political groups operating in the United States as terrorist organizations, accusing them of orchestrating attacks and promoting a secessionist agenda. The World Meteorological Organization informed on Tuesday that the El Niño weather pattern has begun to weaken but will continue to fuel above-average temperatures across the globe. Heavy rain slashed Wisconsin City in the United States with one of the streets turning into river. The wet conditions are expected to last until the weekend. Over 100,000 people have been affected by the floods in the northwestern state of Brazil as the water level of River Acre reached 58 feet on Tuesday. At least 35 people have been killed and dozens injured in Pakistan in the last 5 days as heavy rains and snowfall crippled parts of the country. The India Meteorological Department has forecast a fresh spell of rainfall and snowfall over western Himalayan region till Thursday and dry weather over most parts of the country during the next 5 days. The Met Department has also warned that hot and humid weather is likely to prevail over South India's Tamil Nadu and Kerala during the next 2 days. Tesla's Gigafactory in Germany has temporarily ceased operations until further notice after suspected arson attack nearby left it without power. The attack southeast of the German capital set an electricity pylon close to the site ablaze. The fire did not spread to the Tesla facility but has caused production to cease until next week. Huge number of people assembled at the gate of Hor Kum Luang in Thailand's Chiang Mai city to pay obeisance to the holy relics of the Lord Buddha sent by the government of India. Concluding a historic and spiritually enriching exposition in the Southeast Asian country, the sacred journey will culminate on the 19th of March with the relics being escorted back to their respective homes in India. Nobel Prize-winning author Gabriel Garcia Marquez's sons on Tuesday unveiled the novel he wrote in 2004 but decided not to publish. The book will release in English on the 12th of March. A colored scroll by a renowned Japanese painter from the 18th century has been discovered in Europe. It is now kept safe at Kyoto Museum. A Vietnamese province has added over 700 hectares of new mangrove forests. Now the total area of mangrove forest in the province is more than 19,000 hectares. In southwestern Sweden on Monday, world's largest wooden wind turbine tower was inaugurated. The benefit of switching to a wooden tower is that it can reduce carbon emissions during manufacturing. The dry seasons in Vietnam's central highlands present with ideal conditions for wildfires. Given these risks, localities in the area have implemented stringent measures for forest fire prevention and control. Barbie will celebrate her 65th anniversary on the 9th of March. The original metal Barbie had blonde hair. Today, Barbies comes in 35 skin tones, 97 hairstyles and 9 body types, including dolls with wheelchairs and plus sizes. Chanel designer evoked the French seaside resort in the Oval Town by parading models in tailored suits, long overcoats and broads and hats at the Paris Fashion Week. The Chanel collection also featured long billowing dresses and simple black frocks paired with boots. Louis Vuitton designer celebrated his 10th anniversary on Tuesday at the LVMH-owned label with a fashion show at the Paris Fashion Week. Louis Vuitton models walked down the runway showcasing voluminous skirts, shimmery dresses, tulle-encrusted jackets and lightweight trousers at the Paris Fashion Week. Blackpink singer Jennie, Spanish actor Penelope Cruz and French actor Vanessa Paradis on Tuesday arrived at Chanel's catwalk show on the last day of Paris Fashion Week. A Venezuelan engineer known as Recycler Man is fighting pollution and educating children about the importance of recycling and waste reduction. Recycler Man collects plastic, paper, cardboard, aluminium, glass and gives them new use from his recycling club. Over 100 Lego sculptures made with millions of bricks are being showcased at the Art of the Brick exhibition in London. Visitors can see original creations of dinosaur skeleton and torso in the exhibit. Artist Nathan Savaya spent nearly 20 years of his life gluing together tiny bricks to create reimagined versions of some of the world's most famous art masterpieces. After months of promoting their movies on red carpets, Hollywood stars gear up for the biggest night of the movie industry, the Oscars, followed by a lavish dinner at the Ray Dolby Ballroom. The 2024 Governor's Ball prepares for the after-party with menu designed by world-renowned chefs and crew. The Oscars takes place in Los Angeles this Sunday. Indian actress Janhvi Kapoor is set to star alongside Ram Charan in tentatively titled pan-India film called RC16. Statue of Unity Ekta Ka Pratik documentary directed by Anand L. Rai will be presented by Indian actor Akshay Kumar. The documentary is set to premiere on the 8th of March. The trailer of Bastar, the Naxal story, starring Indian actress Ada Sharma, released on Tuesday. The film is set to release in theatres on the 15th of March. Lapata Ladies, directed by Kiran Rao, is offering a special offer as the ticket prices have been reduced to 100 rupees on the occasion of International Women's Day. The trailer of the upcoming series Lutere starring Rajat Kapoor released on Wednesday. The series will hit the streaming platform on the 22nd of March. Dua Lipa becomes the first female artist ever to have 4 songs surpass 2 billion streams on Spotify. Recently, Levitating became her 4th track to achieve this milestone. Former footballer David Beckham and actor Jason Statham on Tuesday attended the premiere of The Gentleman held in London. The series will hit the streaming platform on the 7th of March. South Korean film Chabak Night of Murder and Romance, directed by William, is set to make its debut in India on the 22nd of March. Korean band BTS member Suga's upcoming concert film called The D-Day is all set to release on the big screen in the month of April. The film captures his tour's finale gig in Seoul, South Korea. Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports Anurag Singh Thakur announced that Khelo India medal winners will be eligible for government jobs. England's Johnny Bairstow and India's Ravichandran Ashwin are set to play their 100th test match when the teams clash in Dharamshala on Thursday. Team India has already clinched the 5-match series by 3-1 when they won the 4th test in Ranchi. India's former legendary batter Sachin Tendulkar praises BCCI's decision to make it mandatory for its centrally contracted players to play domestic red ball cricket. Former world number 1 Simona Halep was cleared for an immediate return to tennis after her doping ban was reduced to 9 months from 4 years. German club Bayern Munich marched into the quarter-finals of the UEFA Champions League after 3-0 victory over Lazio. In another last 16 second-leg clash, Paris Saint-Germain's Kylian Mbappe scored twice to lead them into the Champions League quarter-finals round. Erling Haaland revealed that he is happy at Manchester City as the Norway forward faced questions on him extending his contract at the club. Haaland said that he focused on matters on the pitch as his club Manchester City take on Copenhagen in their Champions League last 16 second-leg tie. And Indian ace tennis player Sumit Nagal went down to South Korea's Song Chen Hong in India's Indian Well Masters, losing by 6-2, 2-6 and 6-7. With this, it's a wrap here on Express News for now, but news and updates will continue here on DD India. So don't go anywhere. Keep watching and keep tracking DD India for all latest news and updates from the country and the world. Thank you so much for joining us right now. Namaskar.